Good morning. I promised yesterday that I would try to paint some left-handed roses for people. So here's my attempt at it. I'm completely right-handed, except if I'm up on a ladder, I can switch to my left hand for trees and things. I use sharp brushes, and I'm using Traditions Paint by Deco Art. And I use the extender and blending gel quite a lot on roses. Sometimes you can coat the surface a little bit or dip in it. Also, I use a little paper palette, a little plastic palette to put the paint in with a drop of the extender in there to make it last. All right, let's just go with this. The color that I'm using primarily is a skin tone that I mix. It's burnt sienna, white, a little bit of yellow, and a little bit of pink for peachy color. I load the whole brush with whatever middle tone you're doing for roses. Dip the heel of the brush in burgundy, and the toe, this is titanium white. That's a little too red for me here. All right, so I'll do the red, warm up with the right one. Okay, this is the right hand. It's just 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to keep reloading to make sure you have enough paint on those upper edges. And then 5 is a rounded stroke. Finished up with a diagonal. This, the heel goes into the edge and comes around. I try not to make them exactly even, which I did that one, but you can fix that. And this one I just push in instead of flaring the brush out. I'm going to go back and put an extra petal here on this one and down a little lower on the other one. Okay, now I'll do this with my left hand, hopefully. I did practice a couple and they didn't come out too horrible. Okay, here's the left one. Oh, to start with, if you want to contain the rose, you can make just a circle with burnt sienna or something, and then a line here where you want that cup to be, and that will help you plan where it's going to be. That might help me. Left hand. 1, fan it out like Mickey Mouse ears. 2, 3, 4. Again, I need to pick up a little bit of white there to make sure you can see that. And then the cup, it comes down here to that cup. And I start at one side and pull over as far as I can. And then go to the other side and pull over as far as I can. I'm running out of paint. So you can put another little petal right in there at this point if you want to. Fill my brush up with paint again. I should show you a messy palette. Make sure you've got enough of that middle tone in there, white on the tip. Okay, now this one, the heel of it goes up against the brush, up against the bowl. The heel has to go. You got to bear in mind here, I'm not left-handed. And see, I flared those out. They're wider than the brush. So this one I push down on it and make this narrower. Finish this with a diagonal too. Try and make that straight because it's folded over there. And then fill in a couple of, try not to drop the brush. Okay, now fill it up again. I put a little border on this before I started so there'd be something pretty to look at. Okay, the bud is, let's see, down here so you can see. First stroke is the same as that back one, and then the bud kind of flares out a little bit on the bottom. There's a little tricky bud that I make. I'm not going to try to do it with my left hand. It goes this, and then just a little bit of it, and then put this here, put it down, flip it back to make a falling off petal. I'm going to let that dry just a minute and just put a couple of leaves on here because I want this to be dry before I do the next step. So just a little bit of green on the bottom. You can just do that. And you can cover up mistakes with this pretty good. These. Excuse me. Okay. Now I'm going to use a smaller angled shader, much smaller, and again, just one color. I'll dip the top in burgundy and blend it out. I'm blending it out on palette paper over to the side because my palette's too messy. So you just, this is one petal, so you can come back in here and shade in the back a little bit, and then come in here and do that. It's a little wide. And deepen the bottoms, deepen inside. Oh, there. These are awfully fast. Now the thing is to put a couple little points on the outside of this. Too much burgundy. I really love using the Americana Traditions paint. When I'm painting slower, you can really get an oil painting look with these paints, and I love that. The green off of there, almost done. I like to put points on the roses because roses have a lot of angles and points. Okay, that's all. That's my left-handed rose, and I did one anyway. Thank you. Thanks for watching.